Well, today, the WWE, they sit down and they come up with all these different kinds of ideas and gimmicks and all that stuff. We didn't do that back then. What happened was I'd had a couple of drinks at a TV show, and I didn't want them to know it, the promoters or anybody, so I put some florets in my mouth and went on television. Now, this is back in the early 70s, late 60s, and color TV had just come out. Looking back through that rearview mirror of my life, it had just come out, so here's this clown out there with a green tongue. I didn't even know it was green. I was just getting rid of the breath. And so the switchboard lit up. Why? They thought their TVs were messed up, I think. And so about 3 months later, I said to myself, I'm going to do that green tongue thing again for my own laugh, you know what I mean? And I did it again, and the place went nuts again, and they had signs the next day all over the arenas with green tongues hanging out. So from then on, I had the very best breath in wrestling. But we never came up with it. It just happened. Then I'm always asked, why did you eat the turnbuckle? How'd you come up with that silly thing? And same thing. This is black and white TV, Pittsburgh, 1967, I think it was. They used to give away different gifts to get fans to come to the TV show for our promotion. And this one particular time, they'd given away these little satin couch pillows that they used to have back in the 70s, 60s. And they'd give away about 40, no, that's not right, about 250 of them. So it's studio wrestling, and one of the ladies got mad at me. She threw her pillow at me. So I got the pillow in the ring. What am I going to do with it? I could throw it back, and there's going to be 350 whatever pillows come back at me. I can sit on it. It's going to be boring. Or I can take a bite out of it. So I took a bite out of it. And it tore and it popped. It was so packed with the stuffing, it just kind of exploded. So I started throwing the stuffing in the air. It was coming down, trickling down, and sticking in my hair like I was a Donald snowman. And then I took the pillow and put it over my opponent's head and started choking him. Really looking at that camera, vicious stuff. And I pulled the pillow off, and he was blue because the stuffing was lighter than air. I had the pillow over his head, so every time he breathed, the stuffing was going down his lungs. It almost killed him. So I go to the dressing room, and the guys are all laughing. Oh, you almost killed that guy, the way wrestlers used to be. And then somebody said, well, that would be great if you get somebody to throw a pillow at you every night. That was fantastic. And somebody else, I think it was Bruno's wrestling cousin, I can't even think of his name right. Tony Marino. And he said, maybe you could tear the turnbuckles. Everybody laughed. 2 or 3 weeks later, I was wrestling Strongbow. And it's hard to have a boring match with Strongbow, but people are just not reacting in this match. So I looked at the corner, the turnbuckle pad. I thought, I wonder. I went over and took a bite out of it. It tore real easy. I started rubbing his eyes in that. From a very flat match, we had a riot. So the two things I'm known for really is a green tongue and a turnbuckle. They both happened by accident. And just from the pillow being torn to tearing a turnbuckle, till my career was developed into a strange career that people still talk about. They remember the strange things. Some of the great matches that people have, they don't even remember anymore, but they remember the green tongue, they remember the turnbuckle, and even my crazy interviews.